Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Family and I intend no ill will toward Dr. Ford or her family. But I swear today, under oath, before the Senate and the nation, before my family and God, I am innocent of this charge.
Dr. Christine Blasey Ford told a Senate panel she is 100% certain Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her when both were in high school. Judge Brett Kavanaugh's testimony is underway. He forcefully denied the allegations. CBS's Nicole Killian has the latest from Capitol Hill.
My family and my name have been totally and permanently destroyed.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh at times angrily and emphatically denied the allegation against him that he sexually assaulted Dr. Christine Blasey Ford when the two were Maryland high school students in the 1980s, telling the Senate Judiciary Committee,
I've never sexually assaulted Dr. Ford or anyone.
When asked whether he would welcome an FBI investigation into the allegations,
I wanted to be here the next day. It's an outrage that I was not allowed to come and immediately defend my name and say, I didn't do this.
Kavanaugh detailed his meticulous calendar-keeping habit as proof of his innocence.
My calendar shows all but definitively that I was not there.
He teared up when he talked about his family and female friends who sent him messages of encouragement before his testimony.
The details about that night that bring me here today are the ones I will never forget.
Earlier, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford told the panel how Kavanaugh assaulted her when both were teenagers.
I was pushed onto the bed and Brett got on top of me. He began running his hands over my body and grinding into me.
Democrats ask their own questions while Republicans filter theirs through a hired sex crimes prosecutor.
During nearly 4 hours of testimony, Christine Blasey Ford described her most vivid memory involving Kavanaugh and his friend Mark Judge.
The uproarious laughter between the two, and they're having fun at my expense.
She told the panel she struggled with the decision to come forward, but felt it was her responsibility to tell the truth.
Apart from the assault itself, these past couple of weeks have been the hardest of my life.
The committee hopes to vote on Kavanaugh's nomination as soon as Friday. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Dr. Christine Blasey Ford was not in the room for Kavanaugh's testimony and is not watching it either. The man accused of helping kill Savannah Greywind in August of last year took the stand in his own defense today, telling the jury for over an hour what he recalls coming home to the day Greywind was murdered. His then-girlfriend, Brooke Cruz, is already serving a life sentence for the gruesome killing. In court today, William Hain said he and Brooke Cruz absolutely had no agreement to murder Greywind. Hain described to the jury what he saw when he came home on August 19th of last year.
She opened the door and I walked into the bathroom and I saw Savannah laying on the floor there.
What was your immediate reaction?
What the I said, who is this? She said, this is Savannah. I said, where did she come from? She said, I went and got her.
Savannah's body was found in the Red River near Harwood, North Dakota on the night of August 27th. Here's video of the scene. Today in court, Hain also explained how her body got there.
We unloaded. Right at the edge of the bridge, we unloaded. Took her to the side, and threw the dresser over the side of the bridge.
Brooke helped you lift it and throw it over?
Yes, she did.
We will have much more on today's testimony on Valley News Live at 6. We now know the names of 3 people who were arrested in Fargo after a search warrant led to a drug bust. Yesterday, several law enforcement officers were involved in the search of a home along 5th Avenue and 17th Street South. Dispatch indicated that a call came in around noon regarding possible drugs at the home. Several people were inside when police served the warrant. Richard and Gretchen Christensen were both arrested for possession of meth, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. Crystal Doran was also arrested for an open warrant. The death toll from Hurricane Florence has increased again, nearly 2 weeks after the eye of the storm reached the Carolinas. Authorities at North Carolina Emergency Operations Center said today that an 85-year-old man died Tuesday. The man contracted an infection in a wound that he received while cleaning up storm debris on his property. The death toll now stands at 48 deaths in 3 states, 37 of them in North Carolina. The governor says 1,500 people still remain in shelters. More than 550 people have enrolled in a program to stay in hotels while longer-term housing is arranged. The chilly, wet weather is sticking around these parts. Hutch, what's happening this evening?
Well, immediately we're seeing a few showers. They're just little pop-up showers, hit and miss variety from the Red River Valley into northwest Minnesota. Plenty of clouds elsewhere. Looking into the Fargo and Grand Forks areas, we're seeing a few showers passing through the region. This also is the case for Thief River Falls up towards Fosston and Roseau. Tonight, frost advisory for most of our viewing area, but a freeze warning is in effect for the Devil's Lake Basin and James River valleys for tomorrow morning. A freeze warning indicating a hard freeze, temperatures below freezing for several hours. As we head through the overnight, we expect those temperatures to dip into the 30s in most area. And yes, there's still flakes in the forecast for Friday morning for portions of the Northern Valley and northwest Minnesota. And while it won't accumulate, the cold weather looks to last into the weekend. I'll have details on even more cold air here in a minute.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A judge has sentenced Alicia Kemper of Rochert, Minnesota to serve 10 years of supervised probation in a theft case. It's a whistleblower story that we first told you about. Valley News Live received a tip that Kemper stole up to $82,000 from Holmesville Township over the course of her 4 years as treasurer. She was convicted of theft. The Becker County Sheriff's Office had been investigating fraud, and Alicia Kemper was named as the suspect. The case was brought to the Sheriff's Office by the Holmesville Township's attorney back in February. There's word of a possible abduction in Bemidji last night, which was shared all over social media in the last 24 hours. Police recently sent out a release saying an abduction likely did not happen. But our Valley News Team reporter says authorities are not completely ruling it out yet. We'll have more on this story tonight on Valley News Live at 6. Officials say there was an increase in Minnesota children who received vaccinations last flu season compared to the seasons before. However, the Minnesota Department of Health says too many children are still unvaccinated. 62% of children between the ages of 6 months and 17 years received vaccinations last season, but more than 6,400 Minnesotans were hospitalized for the flu last year. 74% of the 172 pediatric deaths nationwide in 2017 and 18 were children with no vaccinations. Health officials say families should hold off on flu vaccinations until late October this year. In a surprising twist, a recently published research study indicates boys are more likely to report being victims of dating violence committed by partners who hit, slap, or push them. A study shows 5% of teens reported physical abuse from their dating partners in 2013, down from 6% in 2003. But in the last year, nearly 6% of boys reported dating violence compared to 4% of girls. Researchers say a study is needed to find out why boys are experiencing an increase in dating violence. The Standing Rock Sioux Tribal Council has voted to give its support to other tribes who oppose pipeline projects, including the Enbridge Line 3 project in Minnesota, the Keystone XL pipeline in Montana and South Dakota, and another project in Louisiana. The resolutions are a payback of sorts for other tribes' support of Standing Rock when they opposed the Dakota Access Pipeline. Standing Rock led protests in 2016 and 17 against Dakota Access, and thousands of people traveled to protest camps just outside the reservation. Roads in Moorhead may be a little congested Saturday due to Concordia College's homecoming festivities. Concordia is holding a homecoming parade on Saturday from 11 in the morning to noon. That's on 8th Street South. So that means a portion of 8th Street will be closed to traffic from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon on Saturday, so crews can set up and then clean up. It's suggested that you take an alternate route. With 54 homes on display this year, the Parade of Homes is making its tour a 2-weekend event. So whether you're looking for inspiration or to remodel your home, there's a variety of different styles to see. 5 communities are taking part in the parade, with homes ranging in prices between $200,000 up to $1.3 million. But don't let the prices scare you, as the mission behind the parade is to listen to parade goers' needs.
You talk to a new home sales specialist, talk about your needs, your wishes, and you'll be surprised at what you can afford. And being in a brand new home that's efficient, that has the livability that you want for you and your family, why wouldn't you do it?
The Parade of Homes starts on September 29th and 30th. It will begin again next weekend on October 6th and 7th. For more information, head to our website and click on this story. President Donald Trump is set to make his second visit to Minnesota this year. The Trump campaign announced that Rochester will be the next step on the and stop on the president's national midterm campaign tour, with a MAGA rally set for next Thursday. Trump's visit comes ahead of the critical midterm elections, in which Republicans are attempting to hold on to both chambers of Congress. The rally will be held at the Mayo Civic Center. You can visit our website, valleynewslive.com, for information on tickets.